Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. And today we're gonna look at this beautiful palette from Unearthly, and it's the All I Ever Wanted shimmer palette. She is so beautiful, and I love her so much. So we're gonna create 3 look using all of these shimmers. I'm gonna pair her with other Unearthly palettes and other palettes in general to show you what you can do with this palette. This is already my second look, so I already know that I really like her, and I hope you're gonna like this video and the swatches and everything. So hope that will be helpful. And in case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love Unearthly, and I love Halloween. So I can't wait to get more of these Halloween palettes from them. So this is a 12 pan all shimmer duochrome multichrome palette. They're beautiful. I already swatched her just because I wanted to know what flips they have so that I know what kind of looks I want to do. I already used kind of all the like yellowy pinkish shades and also all the blue purple shades today, so I'm only kind of missing this like reddish orangey corner over here, or like reddish pinkish orangey, and I am so happy with the way that they look and also with the quality. Yesterday when I was doing my first look with it, it lasted all day without creasing. Like, I was so happy with that. So hopefully you're gonna enjoy all of these looks. They're gonna be very shimmer heavy, obviously, since it's all shimmer palette, and I tried to use other palettes very minimally. So like today I only have one matte shade as a liner, and yesterday I also used just like one matte shade in the crease. So I'm trying to be like very minimal with the mattes and just show you the shimmers. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna use them with other palettes eventually as well, and also like use them on different bases, or like on different over different matte eyeshadows, to just like show you how they could look like. But she is so pretty. I definitely would recommend her. I wanted the original All I Ever Wanted palette as well. When they were still available, I didn't get the chance to get them, and I'm so happy that I have this one because I like that it's like slightly smaller. Like 12 pen, I think is a very nice amount of shades, especially when it's all shimmer palette. The only color that you kind of don't have here is green, but some of these shades kind of flip slightly green, like the Starlight, and then which one was it? I think Witch's Brew as well, and I think there was one more that was kind of like a greenish, maybe Grave? I don't remember fully, but there were definitely a couple. So like you have pretty much the whole rainbow when it comes to shimmers, and this palette is magnetic, so you can pop this into your other Unearthly palettes and like kind of mix and match them if you maybe don't have enough shimmers in some of your palettes, or you just don't have shimmers that you would like there. Definitely would recommend getting this one. It's a beautiful packaging. It came with the same sleeve, and also maybe you can see it at the back over there, also with like the cardboard packaging. It always comes like that. So far very happy. You're getting a 22.8 grams of product for 12 shades, as I said. So yeah, almost 2 grams of product, and this is obviously cruelty free, and they can last 24 months, or the shelf life is 24 months. You have a mirror here as well, so couldn't be happier. And I love that it's just like slightly smaller palette, like when you put it next to the Spring Magic, sorry, slightly smaller, pretty much the same width. So yeah, I really like this, and today I kind of used them together. So I used the Spring Magic, just the deeper blue shade called Dawn. I think that's how you pronounce that. And then I have Twinkle in the inner corner, Undead on the lower lash line, and then in the middle of the lid, Angel, this one, in the beginning of the lid, Universe at the end of the lid. And they are so sparkly and so shifty, like I can definitely see them moving and changing colors. Then I have the Uden's Eye Sommelier Gel Liner in the shade 8. A Rimmel Kind of Free Concealer and Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Mascara. Then I have the Spring Magic blushes from Unearthly, and I actually put them in this huge empty palette that I also bought with the All I Ever Wanted on my during a Monolith launch. So these were all from Monolith, and as you can see, it's full of kind of my depotted shades and some of my Makeup Beauty Shop shades and Glam Shop and a couple ColourPop. Then I have this little corner here, and then I have all the blushes because the blush palette from the Spring Magic collection, it's a little bit bigger and I had space here, so I just decided to kind of have it here kind of all together. So I used this pinky purpley blush. I will pop up on the screen what's the shade name, but I have them organized the same way that they are in the palette. So yeah, this is how they were in the palette, so it's this one. And then for highlighter, I have the Daydreamer palette from Electrum Cosmetics, and I've used this beautiful shade called Dream Chaser, which I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like pinky with blue purplish sheen. I love that. So yeah, this is the look. I'm gonna try to show you the flip if you're gonna see something. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be talking too much through all of these looks. It's gonna be voiceover because there's like construction and it's just too noisy, and yeah, I'm not gonna be able to talk the whole time. So yeah, you're gonna it's gonna be voiceover. I hope you're okay with that. But yeah, and I also wanted to make this video slightly shorter, not too long for you. So yeah, so far super happy. So now let's jump into this look and also the first look that I created with this palette. Okay, so for the second look, as I said, I started with the Spring Magic palette and the shade Thaw as a liner. I actually haven't used any primer for the shimmers because in the first look I just kind of realized that the unprimered lid that I forgot to prime looked better than the primed one. So I started with the shade Angel in the inner part of the lid. It is so beautiful. Then I used the shade Universe at the end to kind of connect it into the wing. Then I went in with the shade Undead in between. It is such a beautiful shade there. And I think it really connected these two beautifully. And then I also used the shade Twinkle in the inner corner and kind of on the lower lash line as well a little bit. And then I went in with the shade Undead again for the rest of the lower lash line. Then for the first look that I've created, again I used the kind of taupey shade from the Spring Magic palette called Cleanse to kind of start the crease. And then for the shimmers, I started with the shade Siren. Such a beautiful blue, genuinely such a beautiful blue. And this time I sprayed the brush, but only on this one eye. Then I used the shade Otherworld, which is just such a beautiful, shifty, sparkly shade. The shade Unusual in the inner third of the lid, and then the shade Starlight in the inner corner. So wonderful. And then also on the lower lash line, I've used the shade Afterlife. I just kind of thought that it would be a really nice addition, and I think these all shades together look just so wonderful and beautiful, and there's just something really fun about them. And then I just added a black liner and blue waterline pencil, and I think this look was definitely my favorite. And just, I don't know, there's something so fun and springy and cute about this, and I definitely want to use this palette more in this kind of vine. So that's for the first look that I created, and then for the last look I started with the shade Sorbeti from Glam Shop, and I used this kind of orangey shade and this pinkish shade to start the crease. Then finally, using the NYX glitter primer, I used the shade Blue Moon in the middle of the lid. Then I used the shade Grave in the inner part of the lid. Then also Witch's Brew kind of towards the end of the lid. And then the shade Starlit again in the inner corner, and the shade Unusual on the lower lash line. I think all of these shades blended really nicely together and just created like a really fun, almost kind of like a lesbian pride flag theme. Hi guys, so this is my last and final look of this video with the All I Ever Wanted palette from Unearthly. We created 3 looks with her. I definitely have a lot of other ideas of what I can do with this one, and she's amazing. Like, I had no issues with her whatsoever. I don't know how these eyeshadows will last, obviously, but all the other, and like I only used 3 new shades, otherwise all the other shades that I used today I've already worn, and I had no problem with creasing. Like, even without eyeshadow primer, like the creasing was so minimal after so many hours. And in the past 3 days it's been extremely humid. Like, we kind of had like a super hot week last week, and then the weekend was just humid beyond belief and foggy and just, but also like hot as well, and they lasted amazingly. So I think these are like their best shimmers, because I have the Spring Magic palette, the Fall Magic palette, and the Devour palette, and I don't remember their shimmers being this amazing and this great. Like, I remember, I think there was one shade in the Devour palette that creased a bit, and I think it was Demolish. I haven't used this palette for a while now, actually, but I think it was the Demolish shade, or maybe Gruesome, like one of these, I think it was, that slightly creased. And I think the shade Trap, this like duochrome, multichrome, I think it looked wonderful in the inner corner and lower lash line, but I think when I used it all over the lid, I also had a little bit of creasing. But I had virtually no issues with the All I Ever Wanted palette, and I kind of thought that I could compare this palette to the ones that I already have, if there are any repeats, how you could use them together. So when it comes to the Fall Magic palette, you have the shade Change, and the shade Change is kind of similar to the shade Witch's Brew. Like, I'm gonna try to show them to you next to each other. So this one is Witch's Brew from the All I Ever Wanted palette, and this one is Change, and I'm gonna also swatch them on the back of my hand. So this one is the Witch's Brew, and this one is Change, and as you can see, they kind of have like, I think this one is a bit darker, the one from the All I Ever Wanted palette, but they have kind of similar idea behind them. Like, they're both like kind of purpley going to green. It's just that the Witch's Brew is a little bit more vibrant and the green is a bit more yellowy, and the Change is slightly lighter. It's not like a it's not like they've used this shade twice. It's just that there is a similarity between those two. You have the shade Enchanting from the Fall Magic palette. So this is Enchanting. I'm gonna put it right here. As you can see, it is just beautiful shade. It's like pink, this like goldy green. And then you have the shade Otherworld in the All I Ever Wanted palette. This one. And we're gonna put it here. Yeah, and they kind of flip like similarly. I think the enchanting from Fall Magic is like a little bit more pinky in the base, and the All I Ever Wanted is a bit more like magenta purpley, and this sparkle is a bit like more intense, at least like the way I see it. And it's a bit more green, but again, like slightly similar, not the exact same. But just, you know, in case you were wondering if you need this palette and you have the Fall Magic and you've like these shades, just to let you know. And I think that's all. Then from the Devourer, I kind of thought at first sight that the shade Demolish from the Devourer palette, which looks like this, it's like a very deep purple, looks similar to the shade Undead from the All I Ever Wanted palette, but they're actually not similar, at least I don't think so after like actually looking at them closely. Because the shade Demolish is just like a kind of plummy grayish purple, and then the shade Undead is kind of like bluish purple going into this like grayish black, slightly green color. So yeah, you can see like again not the same. And then the Spring Magic palette. I wanted to kind of show the comparison between the shade Rainfall from the Spring Magic, which is this shade, it's beautiful, and the shade Angel from the All I Ever Wanted, because again at first I kind of thought that they're similar, or like when I opened the All I Ever Wanted I thought they're similar, but they're actually not. They're both kind of like bluish purpley, but the Angel also has like green in it, so it's this one is from the Spring Magic and this one is from the All I Ever Wanted, and you can see it goes more seafoamy green. But yeah, just at first when I first got it, and when I haven't like, just from my recollection of how they look like, I just thought that they're similar, but they actually aren't, which I'm happy about. The shade Mystic from the Spring Magic palette. This is Mystic. And the shade Afterlife from All I Ever Wanted. Again, like in the pan, I just kind of thought they look similar. They have the same base, like from one position. When I look at them and I only see like that pinkish color, like that reddish pink, it's pretty much the same color, but then the flip is different. I don't know, does this help you? It's kind of really hard to show up these things. But yeah, so like the shift is different. This one from the Spring Magic shifts like very green, whereas the one from the All I Ever Wanted, I don't know, it kind of looks like reddish brown to me. I feel like I also saw a little bit of green. I feel like I also saw a little bit of green in some lighting, but it's more like a pinkish purpley color going into this like reddish color, and also it has like a little bit of kind of beigey to it. And then I wanted to show you and compare any other shade. Kind of trying to see. Also the shade Sunshine looks kind of similar to the shade Otherworld that we already swatched with the Fall Magic palette. But this is Spring Magic Sunshine. And this is the All I Ever Wanted Otherworld. I'm trying to swatch them really close so that they're like in a similar light. But again, it's like similar idea, and I think when they shift green, they're slightly similar, but the other world I think is just more vibrant, and also the base color is a bit more vibrant. It's a bit more like pinky purple and like very vibrant, and the Spring Magic is just more muted as a color story. Only a couple shades like kind of have similar idea behind them, but there's no actual dupes, which I'm very happy about. And then since this is all shimmer palette, I'm definitely gonna be using her with a lot of my palettes. I definitely want to use her with the Spring Magic palette for some of the blue shades, because the Spring Magic only has one blue shimmer, kind of blue purpley shimmer, so I definitely think some of these blues would look wonderful with the Spring Magic. Like pretty much this whole row would be wonderful. Also, these two shades is very vibrant yellow, and then this kind of light yellow with a bit of like grayish, with a bit of greenish hue to it, would look wonderful with the greens. And also some of these deeper like pinky based duochromes would look wonderful with all these like very light pinks. So I think I'll definitely get a lot of uses with her and the Spring Magic. Then I also think the Devourer palette would use this, could pair with this quite well. Especially like the yellowy shades with the greens, or these like reddish shimmers, because I have only like this reddish shimmer called, I think, Ravage. Sorry. So I could definitely pull out some of these reddish orangey colors and even some of the purpley shades. So I think these would pair really nicely. And I think in my review of the Devour palette, I said that there's either like really dark shimmers, or then it's the 3 iridescent multichromes. So I could definitely switch up some of the shades once in a while and use these more mid-tone shimmers for that. And even for the Fall Magic, like I could definitely use a lot of the shades as well. Like you have a lot of the yellows, pinks, purples. So yeah, I feel like pretty much the whole color story would be really nice with the Fall Magic as well. So like I think they complement each other very nicely. Again, not dupes, just like complementary to each other, and I'll get a lot of uses out of her. And I also think I'm gonna use her a lot with my Cosmic Brushes palette, especially the Delights and the Muse palettes, because they have the Delights doesn't have a lot of shimmers, and they're kind of pastely, so I definitely think like this will be really beneficiary to that. Also, I think that the Delights has really nice like yellowy, orangey, kind of browny colors, but it has no shimmer in that department. So these yellowy colors would be wonderful, and a lot of these shades I think would also look really nicely with the Muse, or even with the Winter Wonderland. But I think the Winter Wonderland has more shimmers, or maybe they're just more versatile for me. I feel like the Delights and the Muse have kind of like mid-tone shimmers and then one slightly lighter shimmer, and that's kind of it. So it's like I'm just missing a little bit of a range with that, so I think I'm definitely gonna get some uses out of that as well. But overall, I am just so impressed. I think this is the best palette that they've ever created, just because like it is so, even though it's all shimmer palette, like it is so thought out, and they actually, some of these like darker based shimmers blend out really nicely. Like if you would apply the shimmer on your lid and then take a fluffy brush and kind of like diffuse them, you would get a not fully like matte crease, but kind of diffused look with just the shimmer. So yeah, if you like one and done looks, you could definitely do it with that. And I was just, this is, or I already know this is gonna be in top 5 palettes this year. Like it's just so good. It's so good. And I think I didn't tell you what I used on my face. So I don't think I showed you the last shade that I used, so it's the Unusual is on my lower lash line. I don't think I filmed that part because it kind of just happened very spontaneously. Then I have the Salmon Edge liner in the shade 1. I don't wear this often, but whenever I do this like pinky yellowy looks, I don't know, I just feel like it looks nice. Then eyeliner, I use this She Glam Wing It Waterproof Liner Duo. It's one of those that has like a stamp and a liner, and I think I'm gonna declutter this one because the stamp is kind of weird and the liner, it either draws super watery or it's kind of very dry, stampy, and it like lifts up the product underneath. It's just so annoying, and you can see that the eyeliner isn't even because it was just so hard to work with this, and I don't like the shape of the wing. Then I have the Rimmel Kind and Free Concealer. I can't get to the bottom of this. Like, I've used it so many times. I think I've used it like 170 times and it's still not done. What I am getting kind of lower into is the Essence Get Big Lashes Volume Boost Waterproof Mascara. I'm kind of scraping up the last bits, and I think next week I'm gonna have to buy new mascara. Then I use this Catrice lip stain. This is the So Apricot lip stain, and I took it off after like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and I just put Vaseline, and it just has this like really nice bright orange stain. Oh my god. Then on my face, I have this single shade from V Cosmetics. This is a eyeshadow. I don't know what it's called. I don't know if they still have it on the site because I bought it quite a while ago and I didn't know it's gonna be this big, so I use it as blush because it's not too pigmented for me to be able to for me not to be able to use it as blush. It kind of goes really softly at the beginning, which I wouldn't like for a eyeshadow, but I do like it for blush, and it's big enough pan for me to use it as a blush. And I don't think it's on their website anymore, or I know that once I tried to link it and it wasn't there, and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if they still have this shade, but I have also blush from them. I think it's called Seduction or something, and it's pretty much the same shade, and it works pretty much the same, and I do love that one as well. So if you want that. Then I also used this single eyeshadow from Colourpop as a really like soft bronzer, and this one is Running Late. It's like a very nice yellowy beigey brown that I like to use when I don't want to have too much bronzer on. I have this Essence All About Matte setting powder under my eyes as well, just in case you're wondering. I've had this depotted for forever and I can't get to the bottom of it because I only use it very sporadically under my eyes. So yeah, then I also kind of topped the blush with the Best Buds blush from Menagerie. This is one of the Arthurine blushes because it's kind of like pinky based with golden orange sheen, and then to get slightly more sparkle just like at the absolute edge of my highlighter, I also used the shade Believer from the Electrum Cosmetics Daydreamer palette. I just love these highlighters. These are the best highlighters. I don't know if they still have them on the site because Electrum Cosmetics kind of like, they're very notorious, at least for me, to release a product immediately, sell it in like 2 seconds and the pre-order, then maybe bring it back after 6 months and then never bring it back again. So I don't know if they still have this and if they ever plan on having this, but yeah, that's if you can find it, I would definitely recommend it. And then I used these Colourpop Crystal Face Jewels. I think these were in the Wings collection. And yeah, I just used the pink and orange ones and a couple of the like hollow ones. I just wanted really sparkly look today. And yeah, I love this. I love this so much. So do I need to say more about this palette? I think it's very obvious that I love her. I think my favorite look was the first one, which is kind of strange for me because I normally don't do looks like that, but it was so fun. And all of these shades are just so much, I don't know, they're just fun. I also love the blue look, like the blues here, especially the shade Siren. Oh, it's such a nice blue. It's like very, from one side it almost looks like cobalt blue, and then it has this like purpley shift. It's kind of like darker version of that bluish purple from the Spring Magic palette. And yeah, it's magnetic. I think I mentioned that. There's just nothing wrong with this palette. It's just too beautiful, too amazing, too stunning, and yeah. And when I first saw that outside in like sunlight, it's magic. It's pixie dust. It's magic. Yeah. It's made for fairies, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. So yeah, if you want to be a fairy or just a very sparkly goth, go for it. I can't wait to get the Night Terror palette as well. Like that will just fulfill my dreams for this year, I think, if I could have those two. And I really hope it's gonna come to Monolith in September. Like, please, please, I want these blues. Like, I've been kind of obsessing over blues. Now my blue hair is kind of faded, but I'm still obsessed with blues. So hopefully I'm gonna get my hands on that soon. And I think we could also use this one with it as well. So let me know which look was your favorite. Let me know if you picked up this palette or if you want to pick it up. As I'm filming this, I think a couple hours ago, Amanda posted a sale happening on Unearthly. I think it was like 50% off with a code that she shared in her stories. I don't know if it's just for today or if it's gonna last longer. I'm filming this on Monday, so yeah, I don't know if by tomorrow or today for you watching, if the sale is still up, but if it is and this one is on the site and available, get it. Like, it is so wonderful. I think I paid like, was it 80 euros? Because usually their normal palette are like 50, 60, right? So I think this was like 80 euros, so I think it's like similar in dollars, like euro and dollar is kind of similar price these days. And it's worth it. Like, it's definitely worth it. You get 12 shades and they're all multichromes, duochromes. I think the only shade that doesn't shift is the red one, the blood moon, sorry. Why would it be called blue moon? I think the blood moon doesn't shift. Like, I don't see any shift, but all the others are maybe also unusual. It's super sparkly, vibrant neon yellow, and I don't think it has a well, maybe slightly orange. Okay, this one is like very slight duochrome. But yeah, I think all the rest, like, I definitely saw shifts. Maybe even the blood moon has a shift, but I don't really see it. And I haven't saw it in the swatches either, I think. So yeah, I think this is just like super wonderful price for an amazing palette, and I would 100% recommend this one. If you're on a low buy or no buy and you want to break it for one product, and if you like all shimmer palettes, this one is the one, I think. I am genuinely surprised with the quality. So hope you've enjoyed this video. Definitely let me know which look was your favorite or which shade of these is your favorite. And if you've bought anything fun recently, if you're also excited for Halloween and Halloween makeup coming up. I know a lot of you like Halloween makeup just as much as me. And I really hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day, and I'll be super happy to see you in another video. Bye!